Interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. The BCS is on life support, and I am so ready to pull the plug.
And I'm David Aldridge. I've been sitting in Tony's chair for just 5 minutes. Already my hair is falling out in clumps, and I think everybody's out to get me.
Welcome to PTI. In the headlines today, Steve Spurrier is going to the NFL. Dennis Green is taking the high road, and the BCS took the low road in the Rose Bowl with it. Tony's got the day off, so David Aldridge is in.
God bless me.
We start with some fairly shocking news, actually. Steve Spurrier has resigned at the University of Florida, essentially so that he can go to the NFL. He said earlier today, quote, "I'm not burned out, stressed out, or mentally fatigued from coaching. I just feel my career as a college head coach after 15 years is complete," close quote. And boy, does he have options in the pros. The San Diego Chargers have no head coach, the Minnesota Vikings have no head coach, and the Redskins' Dan Snyder has been courting Steve Spurrier, as we know, David, for years.
Absolutely. If I'm Marty Schottenheimer, I'm not buying right now. This isn't good for Marty. I mean, I think this is a chance for the Redskins to make a big move in their head coaching thing. But there's going to be a lot of teams interested in Spurrier coming off of that performance. Clearly, an offensive genius. I would think that San Diego would be a good spot for him. Drew Brees is there, young quarterback. They've got LaDainian Tomlinson. Yeah, they've got a strong GM in John Butler, and he doesn't want to do any of that stuff.
Apparently, Steve
right?
does not want to be boss of everything like so many of these guys, including Schottenheimer. And that's going to cost him, David, I think. If you're going to go and get a GM, let's say Bobby Beathard, as the Washington Post has reported, let's say it could be Ron Wolf, who we had as a guest on this set, those guys are not going to come and work with a guy like Schottenheimer who has his own ideas. Spurrier makes it much more attractive, particularly since he doesn't want to do everything.
Right.
But what about Minnesota, where they've got a young quarterback in Culpepper, a great and still young receiver in Randy Moss? Yeah. They've got offensive weapons also.
Well, here's the thing about Minnesota. It's cold in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
And Steve, as we like to know, in fact, Steve might still be playing golf right now. He likes to play golf. And I don't know if that's a big lifestyle change for a guy who's been in Florida for 20 years.
Okay, what about Tampa Bay if Tony Dungy's Tampa Bay team does not make it past the first round?
Right.
And Jacksonville. I mean, what, you're not going to, are you sold on Tom Coughlin after all these years that you wouldn't try Steve Spurrier?
Yeah, but the thing is, Tampa Bay's going to probably go after Parcells from everything we've been led to believe that that's the guy they want if Dungy doesn't make it.
I think Tampa Bay is going to get to the NFC title game and Tony Dungy's still going to be there.
It's a moot point, perhaps. Now, normally I'd kill Tony for being asleep at halftime of every sporting event that begins after sunset.
Got that right.
But this time I should have joined him after watching that pathetic excuse for a national championship game last night. Now, I don't mean to bash Nebraska, but I sound like Dennis Miller here. The Cornhuskers, not the Cornhuskers, shouldn't have been in that game. That was a joke.
Well, they weren't in that game.
The Cornhuskers would have done better.
No, they weren't actually there. 34-0 through 30 minutes. 472 yards of total offense for Miami, which didn't even try to move the ball after halftime. Ken Dorsey was 22 of 35 for 362. And the thing is, it's not like he was doing this against some Cinderella team.
Yeah.
What is the deal? Why was Nebraska's defense so bad 2 weeks in a row, two games in a row?
Because they finally ran into guys who have some speed. And speed kills, as we all know. But what surprises me is that I thought Nebraska addressed this problem 6 or 7 years ago after Florida State blew their doors off in a bowl game. They went out and got speed, got guys who could run, got skill position guys who could run. It didn't look like it last night.
No.
Miami's guys ran past them like they were standing still. It was
there was
ridiculous.
something fundamentally wrong, David, when they lost to Colorado by 100 points. And all of us, me included, thought it was a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. Something's wrong with their defense. I talked to some NFL scouts who said they did not have the same kind of speed they recruited 10 years ago. You're right, after they got their doors blown off by Florida State. All right, well, you can't even discuss the Rose Bowl without hitting the central issue of last night's game, which is the BCS. David, we're stuck with this thing for 4 more years contractually. But for people who hate it like I do, there couldn't have been a better result. We know they should not have been in that game. Who should have been in the game?
Well, Oregon obviously should have been in that game. See, I don't have a real problem with the BCS. I think anything you come up with to find a national champion is going to be inherently flawed because you can't get 10 people to agree on anything. My problem is not determining number one. It's always determining number two. That seems to always be the problem. Who's the second best team in the country? Because invariably, the second best team has at least one loss.
Right.
That's the problem with this BCS
formula. I think
formula.
there's another problem. I think people know you're not playing for the same thing every other sport is playing for, particularly March Madness, World Series, NBA Finals, Super Bowl. You're not playing to prove this on the field. You got to prove it to voters. I think that's the flawed system. And I think until we see a national championship playoff, whether it's 4 teams or 8, I prefer 8, that's another plug. I think people are going to say, you know what, enough of this. It's too flawed. It's 2 years in a row the wrong team was in.
Right, but I'm not a big proponent of a playoff
Why
system.
not?
Because it adds more weeks. I mean, these guys, this student-athlete thing is a joke as it is now. You're going to have more time, keep them away from class even longer?
Let's take the bye week out and take out all that December airtime.
Well, maybe. Now, obviously, if Steve Spurrier hadn't announced his resignation, the top pro football story, because he is going to go to the NFL, would have been Dennis Green accepting a buyout and leaving the Vikings after 9+ seasons. Green was a lightning rod for controversy for most of his tenure at Minnesota, but the Vikings usually won big enough to keep him safe. A 5-10 record this season, though, wasn't enough for him to overcome owner Red McComb's desire for change. Today, Green left with no regrets.
I'm always going to be on the high road. If you're looking for Denny Green, you want to find out what Denny Green is, whether I'm in California, New York, or wherever, look on the high road. That's where I'll be.
Well, I hope the high road leads to another coaching job.
Yeah, it better be.
Now, does he wind up in Stanford
Well,
to replace
why wouldn't
Ty
he?
Willingham?
I mean, he had success at Stanford. I mean, the numbers don't say it. I mean, Denny Green wasn't a guy in the Rose Bowl, but you had to build Stanford when he was there and get it to the point that other people like Willingham wanted to go to Stanford and did well there. There are going to be some other head coaching jobs, though, David. Spurrier can't take them all. I mean, let's say Spurrier winds up in Washington. Who's going to be in San Diego? We don't think Norv Turner's going to be there because they would have hired him already. They couldn't name Norv the coach because he's there. There are enough head coaching jobs, plus that Denny's got friends.
Yeah.
Tony Dungy couldn't use Dennis Green in some capacity?
Yeah, I don't see
like offensive coordinator?
Well, I don't see Green going to a coordinator job, though. He's a
No,
head
he
coach.
doesn't have to do that.
Shouldn't
have to do that anyway. All right, you know, Tony must have sent in this story before he took his day off, stupid baseball story. While the Vikings were waving goodbye to a coach, the Twins were saying hello to a manager, Ron Gardenhire, their former third base coach. Now, I keep reading where the hiring of a manager means the Twins won't be contracted. I don't believe that. Some third base coach nobody's ever heard of is going to stop Major League Baseball from its mission of contracting. What? Tell me everything you know. Break down Ron Gardenhire for me.
44 years old, played with the Mets 5 seasons. He's been with the Twins since '91, managed 3 seasons in the majors. Twins won 85-77 last year. That's what I know about Ron Gardenhire, and
You
I'm
got
happy
8
about
seconds
it.
left, David.
Stay the course, 1,000 points of light.
we don't think that this is going to change anything, do we? Just because you have to have a manager.
No, exactly. This doesn't change contraction, although I don't think contraction is going to happen. Not this year, anyway. The tennis season is now underway, and what tennis weekend would be complete without Anna Kournikova losing? She got smacked around in the semis of the tournament.
Hey, ripping Anna.
She got smacked around in a tournament in New Zealand today, which continues the longest winless streak since Susan Lucci.
Oh, that's cold.
But, Mike, I think I speak for all men when I say, who cares?
I speak for all men when I say, yeah, baby, Anna Kournikova. Okay, is women's tennis worse off because Anna's name is the first one mentioned? We didn't even mention the woman who beat her, Anna Smashnova.
I like that name.
Novas.
Yeah, I like that name. Sounds like a wrestling name.
Is she bad for women's tennis?
No, she's not bad for women's tennis. I think every sport needs a sideshow. Needs something that the freaks can go look at.
She's the whole show. You and I were looking at her website about an hour ago.
You need something that's not serious.
Okay.
And she's not serious.
No, she's not serious.
But, you know, you need that, everyone. You need that. And every sport has to have a Haystacks Calhoun. And
Okay,
she's
but
Haystacks Calhoun.
I gotta think that Davenport and the Williams sisters, Mary Pierce, must say enough talk about this woman.
Got 2 words for them. Body piercing, okay?
God, we've got to take a quick break. But when we come back, we'll talk about Michael Jordan's first game against the Bulls. You know, the organization that wins championships.
Pardon the Interruption is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or 2.
Hello?
Collect calls.
Did you use 1-800-COLLECT?
1-800-COLLECT presents Ava Save-A-Lot, starring in the most horrifying movie ever. I know you're not calling me with 1-800-COLLECT.
What kind of twisted mind wouldn't want me to save a buck or 2? It's so easy. What a nightmare.
1-800-COLLECT. Save a buck or 2.
Winter X Games 6 in Aspen, sponsored by Right Guard Extreme Sport, begins February 1st on ESPN.
Dave Chappelle here. I'm setting this guy up on a blind date to show that Right Guard Extreme Sport works under the most extreme conditions. Ladies! You gotta get a number, dog. See? Extreme protection against odor and wetness. Love hurts. Goes on clear, doesn't quit. You guys are really hitting it off.
Right Guard Extreme Sport. Get extreme. Get Right Guard.
Call us!
Devin will.
Thank you.
Attention, attention everybody. The Home Depot is driving down the cost of home improvement. We are taking an extra 40% off hundreds of items. Look for the yellow tags and save an extra 40% on great brand names all over the store. Like this Black & Decker Firestorm drill. With 40% off, it's just $39.59. But hurry, it's only while supplies last. And just one more way the Home Depot has lower prices nailed.
Ocean's 11 is the coolest thing around.
Someone called for a doctor?
One of the year's 10 best.
Take the batteries?
2 thumbs up.
Why do this? Why not do it? Been practicing this, PTI. A little bit. Did I rush it? No, it was good. I liked it.
Ocean's 11, rated PG-13. Now playing.
Only ABC Family Channel's got Drew Carey and the gang working 5 nights a week, making stuff up off the top of their heads. 1 hour of Whose Line Is It Anyway? 5 nights a week at 10, 9 Central on ABC Family Channel. Available on cable and satellite.
We're going to spend the next 5 good minutes on Michael Jordan's first game against his old team, the Chicago Bulls, and we're joined by Sam Smith of the Chicago Tribune, who has covered Jordan and the Bulls for years. We've all done that, Sam. Doesn't make you so special. But
not as well.
Makes you special, makes you special to be here, and I would agree. Now, we know why you're in town tonight. Bulls, Jordan, we can't believe we're mentioning those 2 topics separately, but
breaks my heart.
More importantly than the Bulls being in the building, Jerry Krause apparently is going to be in the building. Ron Artest, who was involved in the rib-breaking situation with Michael, he's going to be in the building. What do you think is going to happen tonight? I mean, this is one of those situations where it's like putting red in front of Jordan and he's going to go crazy and score 70?
I think, he's going to want to in his mind, but at the same time, he's going to know if he does, he's playing into their hands. Because everybody expects him. 70, 100. No, can he get 100 against the Bulls? I mean, Michael with his challenges, he said, well, nobody can average 30. No one. He's the oldest guy to get 42 points wearing 23 and a win. Who knows what records we can come up with. He'll want to be the oldest guy ever to get 100 points. And so that's what, that's the public notion of it. I'm sure Ron Artest has even mentioned it. But they're going to go after him, especially Artest. And it's got to be in the back of Michael's mind somewhere that this guy broke my ribs by grabbing me. Yeah. The story in Chicago, there's some reports that he threw him down, whatever. Michael said he's grabbed, but some sort of physical contact. This guy's 260 pounds, solidly built, very much like Al Harrington, who held him to 6 points last week in Indiana. So Michael, I think, is going to be smarter than they are, and he's going to move the ball. He's going to be waiting. Everyone's going to be expecting him. For that reason, I don't expect him to have this super kind of game everybody expects. But he was sick, and if he did order pizza from Utah, he could get 40. Now, Sam, the Bulls fired Tim Floyd. I say he quit, but they fired him a couple of weeks ago, finally, at long last. Now, everybody asks me all the time, how does Jerry Krause keep his job? I think he keeps his job because Reinsdorf needs somebody to deflect heat from him as the seasons go on. Why does Jerry Krause seem to be a Teflon GM? What's going on there? I don't think you see the side of Jerry Krause that Jerry Reinsdorf sees, where he's bringing him corned beef sandwiches, he's going to the bakery for him. No. Look, like him or not, and Jordan didn't, and Phil Jackson didn't, and Scottie Pippen didn't, and do we have enough time for a list here? He's not liked in his basement, I don't think. But like him or not, he was the CEO of the company when they won 6 championships, when they went from nothing to one of the great dynasties of all time in a 15-year period. Right. So Reinsdorf, in effect, said, look, like him or not, this guy was on top. He might have a stupid CEO, but if the stock price goes up, he gets rewarded. Krause has been rewarded for that. Now he's given him one chance to say, let's see if he could bring him back. I think this summer will be real key for whether they decide to make a move on Krause. But his other view is, who should I get? Elgin Baylor?
Exactly.
What GM, if you can't get Jerry West, what GM in the NBA do you really want?
All right, one of the guys he brought back was Charles Oakley.
Right.
Do you think, is Oakley going to be confrontational with Michael tonight? Is he going to be one of those, if you come down the lane, I'm going to knock you down moods, or is he going to help him up, which is what Pat Riley used to hate so much when he was with the Knicks?
Good point, because Pat Riley used to be in Oakley's face right about that. He used to accuse Oakley of, you like Michael too much. You don't hit him. All his guys used to think. And the best story was they came out in a playoff game. I think it was 92 or 93, the 93 series. First game, he had been all over Oakley about, you're letting Jordan off the hook. So Oakley commits a flagrant foul on Bill Cartwright in the first play of the game. No, he's not going to go after Michael.
Transposing. Now, here's the big thing. They go to Chicago in 2 weeks.
Right.
And the hagiography on Jordan in Chicago is obviously exponential. How will they treat him in Chicago? What will the reaction be in Chicago?
It's a real interesting question, because I haven't encountered this anywhere in the country. I mean, you see the attendance for the Wizards sold out everywhere. Everyone wants to see this guy. Everybody, not only in Washington, is caught up with the celebrity. There's a lot of bitterness in Chicago, a lot of resentment that he's the other guy now. How could he do that to us? You know, Walter Payton would have never left. Ernie Banks would have never left. All these great guys with it. How could this guy who was identified with Chicago leave? There's a real ambivalence now, and a lot of people I run into, not basketball people, but just fan kind of people, say, he should give it up. What's he doing? Get a life. You know, his family's here. He's there. What's wrong with this guy? Because they're angry with him. I think he'll be received warmly, and I sure hope he was. He should be. But it's interesting, the reaction that's there is different than everywhere else.
It's going to be, we know it's going to be very loud and receptive tonight, about a couple of blocks south of here at MCI. Sam, thanks a lot for being with us. We've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll make our weekend picks. With the playoffs on the line, Mike Holmgren is handing the ball to Trent Dilfer. What took you so long, Mike?
Sure, the holidays are over.
Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon.
I knew. I just didn't want you to know.
Two guys with a lot on their minds.
We've got issues. Shaq and Kobe didn't get along.
I don't like you, and we're going to have to do this show together.
Now they're teaming up for Pardon the Interruption on ESPN.
Sports
and other stuff.
Here is Rodman after he got hit in the 4th round. We're fat, we're bald, we're old.
Hey, you're bald. I'm shaved. Shaved is a lot better.
Pardon the Interruption, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, weekdays on ESPN.
It's not pretty.
PTI. Welcome to a whole new internet. An internet that's a lot faster and friendlier, too. Introducing the new Comcast high-speed internet. An internet that does more than you ever dreamed, more easily than you ever imagined. Where information and imagination fly through 1 million miles of fiber optic cable at the speed of light. A more reliable network built by the neighbors who've been connecting you for over 30 years. Welcome to the new Comcast high-speed internet.
Some of the games that made this one of the greatest seasons in college football history. The 2001 College Football Marathon, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC now.
Yesterday in Hawaii, Mike Weir fired at 10 under, course record tying 63. But the rest of the field, including Tiger, was within striking distance. The Mercedes Championships, live second-round coverage tonight at 7:30 on ESPN.
Roger that. Bandits, 2 o'clock. Tally ho. Slash 1. Come on. Got you. Slash 2. There's 3. What the? Bandits on me. Still on me.
Sorry, Grandma.
Ace Combat 4, rated E for everyone.
The NFL wraps up its regular season this weekend. It's time to pick some games. David, you get to watch them on the dish. I got to go watch the Cardinals play against the Redskins, Steve Spurrier's new team.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
All right, let's get to the first matchup. The Jets against the Raiders. Herm Edwards against John Gruden.
Both of them need the win because the Raiders still think they can get that. I'm sounding like Mel Kiper here. What are we talking about?
They can get a couple of home games here if they win.
Yeah, it's a big deal for them. But how about Herm Edwards has to keep Vinny Testaverde and Paul Hackett from strangling each other? That's a pretty good deal.
That's a tall order.
Yeah.
All right. So, who's your rooting interest in this game?
Well, I like Herm. I don't dislike Gruden. I like the Raiders, but I'm going to pick Herm just because I'm tired of reading about how the Jets choke in December.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of that whole thing. Tony usually trots that out, that December choking deal. The thing about the Raiders is they've lost 3 of 5, just like the Jets have. Neither one of these teams is any good in December. The Jets are 20-44 in December and January regular season games since '86. The Raiders, on the other hand, have turned it over 15 times in the last 4 games. The defense has gone from top 10 to 17. I'm rooting for the Jets because I think it would be fun to have the Jets in the playoffs, but I think these guys, John Gruden's guys, are going to win. All right. Matchup number 2, Kansas City, Vermeil, against Seattle.
Your boy
Holmgren,
Vermeil.
the guy who can't figure out who to start at quarterback. Now, I got to tell you, Trent Dilfer has won 19 games in a row as a starter, including the playoffs. I don't see what the decision is. He's got people in there playing quarterback I've never heard of, Hasselbeck, and people he's paid $1 trillion. Put Dilfer in the game. He's 3-0 as a starter this year. He threw for 267 last week and 3 TDs against San Diego. I'm rooting for this team. I'm rooting against him for Trent Dilfer, even though I got to root for Holmgren. Trent Dilfer.
Let me ask you something. Who died and made Trent Dilfer Johnny Unitas all of a sudden?
I didn't say it was Johnny U.
All right, first of all, the Ravens' defense won the Super Bowl last year.
I'll give you that.
All he did was hand the ball off to Jamal Lewis.
But he did it so well, though.
Then the year before, he won 5 straight for Tampa Bay. He got benched for Sean King.
Well, it shows you what they know offensively.
So Trent Dilfer, please, enough about Trent Dilfer, America's quarterback. I'm going with the Chiefs just because I'm sick of
Johnny
Trent Dilfer.
U, they had the same kind of motion, didn't they?
Yeah.
Matchup number 3, Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers against Michael Strahan and the New York Football Giants. Now, I know who I'm rooting for. I'm rooting for the New York Football Giants to beat Green Bay because the Bears need to have home field. For me, they need to have home field. They need to beat out St. Louis, and the only way they can do that is to win this game. Strahan can pass Mark Gastineau, which is a good thing, and get to 22 sacks. Who you rooting for?
I got no problem with Strahan. I'm so glad to see Fossil get his comeuppance, though, guaranteeing playoff wins and stuff, getting smacked around last week by the Eagles. I love that. I have to root for the Packers for one reason. My wife is from Wisconsin, and she'll kill me if I root for
How
the Giants.
whipped an excuse is that? To root for your wife's team. Well, I don't blame you, but Strahan, this is an interesting thing. Strahan is going after Favre. Favre has come out and said, you know what? If he'll leave me alone the rest of the 3 quarters, I'll lay down and let him touch me for a sack early on.
No, you got to root for the Packers for that.
Well, I guess they really, in the Giants fans, they want this guy breaking that record in that stadium held by that clown Gastineau. All right, matchup number 4. Andy Reid against Tony Dungy. Isn't this premature? Don't we have to see the same thing?
They have to do this again next week.
Well, so what's the purpose of this game? It's a preseason game.
There's no purpose, and they've all said that nobody's going to play in this game, or they're going to play like a quarter or something. I do think Tampa Bay needs to play seriously in this game. They've got some momentum going finally after really playing bad for 3 quarters of this season. They're playing well right now. They're playing at the top of their game. They've got to continue to do that going into the playoffs because the playoff game is going to be in Philly. You don't want to give Philly any reason to think it's going to dominate them. So let's go with Tampa Bay just because they need the game, I think, a little bit more.
I think they need it too. David, they lost there last year. But we know the key matchup here is the weatherman. Sunny and 80, maybe not 80, 65 in Tampa. It's going to be cold up there. Tampa needs to keep the momentum going. I think Tampa has a whole lot more incentive. You and I agree on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, matchup number 5, the final matchup. Gino Auriemma and the Yukon Huskies against Pat Summitt and the Tennessee Volunteers in the biggest and most important college basketball game of any gender this weekend. Aren't you fired up for this game?
No.
Come on, David.
These 2 teams are always number 1 and number 2. It's boring. I'm sick of it.
You know, but that's why it's good. Wait, what happened to dynasties? You're a dynasty guy.
I am a dynasty guy. I love that stuff.
All right, UConn, these 2 teams, 14th meeting ever. 6 times, one of these teams has been number 1 or 2. Both teams have been in the top 10 every time they've met. Isn't that pretty cool and significant?
But this is the problem right now with women's college basketball.
What?
They have 3 teams that can win a national championship, and these are 2 of them every year. The other one's usually Texas Tech or something like that.
Well, I'll give you that. It's not exactly the deepest field ever.
No, this isn't parity. This is comatose. There's nobody else out there who can beat these 2.
But you love seeing these 2 go against each other, don't you?
Sure, why not?
I'm rooting for... I shouldn't say that. I root for Pat Summitt all the time. I like Gino Auriemma, too. I root for Pat Summitt.
I like UConn, and, of course, Connecticut, the home of the worldwide leader in sports. So I think under,
what a sucker!
Under martial law, I have to root for them, but I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Oh, okay,
I like
take it
Pat
back.
Summitt. She should be coaching a men's team somewhere.
I take it back. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere because we've still got to talk about Floyd Patterson, Jim Burke, and Michael Vick, who gets the start this weekend against the Rams, who have to lose.
Nothing like the open road.
Yeah, too bad we're out of gas.
Oh, somebody's coming. Hey, buddy, how about a lift?
No riders. Not even for $1? Dollar don't buy much, mister.
It does if you dial 10-10-220.
Yeah, all calls up to 20 minutes are 99 cents.
Yep, and 7 cents a minute after 20.
20 minutes or 99 cents? You bought yourself a ride. You gotta sit in the back.
Great trip. Oh, be quiet.
Dial 10-10-220.
John Nash was one of the greatest minds of his generation.
You are the best code breaker I have ever seen.
But the extraordinary gift that set him apart...
I've got myself into something.
...would push him...
out there.
Who? ...beyond his limits.
Ron, talk to me!
A Beautiful Mind, nominated for 6 Golden Globes, including Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Picture. A Beautiful Mind. Rated PG-13. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
Who sings that? The Seekers. Who sings that? The Seekers.
No. Cornelius Brothers and Sister Rose, 1972.
You want expert answers whenever you need them? Come to Office Depot, where our people listen, understand, and help.
How can I get organized?
The new generation of handhelds. It'd be nice if everything was like that. Office Depot. What you need to know.
Moo. Looking for an incredible deal on a computer? Just call 1-800-GATEWAY, because right now you can get a Gateway 300S desktop complete with an Intel Celeron processor, 17-inch monitor, a 20-gigabyte hard drive, and a CD burner, all for just $7.99. That's a fully loaded desktop for only $7.99. To take advantage of this special offer, call 1-800-GATEWAY. Hurry, offer ends soon.
Coming up on SportsCenter, Steve Spurrier shocks college football. Why is he walking away from Florida? This on the heels of Denny Green's decision in Minnesota in the NFL.
I will no longer be the head football coach.
It's 90 minutes of SportsCenter, 6 o'clock Eastern.
Time to send out our happy happies on the day. Happy 67th birthday to Floyd Patterson. Floyd Patterson was the first guy to regain the heavyweight title. He was 21 years old.
Youngest guy ever.
That's right.
Of course, when he got knocked out by Sonny Liston in the first round, he put on a nose and fake beard and left the country.
Losing to Sonny wasn't that big a disgrace, was it?
That's a David Remnick story from his book, A Fabulous Stocking Stuffer.
Happy anniversary to the New York Giants. On this day in 1987, you beat the Niners 49-3 in the NFC playoffs en route to the Super Bowl championship.
Now, Montana took 2 big hits, and that was one of them in his career. The other one was Leonard Martin. Boy, what a hit that was.
And the Giants went on to beat the Redskins in the title game and win the Super Bowl.
That's correct.
All right, happy trails, Tony Martin. You've been cut by the Atlanta Falcons with 1 week left in the season. This is a guy, David, who played in 2 Super Bowls. Why can't they let him finish the season?
Clearly, he had some incentives that he was going to hit that they don't want him to hit. So
apparently so. Wow, every day we do this show, we make terrible errors. I sound like Tony. And Stat Boy lets us know what they are. Stat Boy?
All right, let's first give some credit out to David for using possibly the only time ever hagiography in a sports show. I don't know what that was all about. That was in 5 good minutes. 15 consecutive starts and wins for Dilfer, not 19, Michael. That was on the paper right in front of you.
Where did I get
that? Where'd you get that?
I don't know. All right, thanks, Tony. We're running out of time. Let's go straight to the big finish. Michael Vick gets the start against the Rams on Sunday. Can the Rook pull off the upset, David?
He could have pulled off a lot more upsets if Reese had let him play this season. Alex Van Pelt gets a 5-year extension with the Bills. Are Rob Johnson's days numbered?
I'd hope so. They should have been numbered. It's 0 previously. Theo Fleury of the Rangers is accused of punching the San Jose Sharks mascot. If you could punch one mascot, David, which one would it be?
This one. What is this? What is this?
You just killed the Utah mascot.
Get it out of here. Michael Westbrook of the Redskins says that he won't be back in Washington next season. Surprised?
I'll be surprised if he is back. Last question, hockey trade today. The Coyotes acquired Sebastian Bordelot. Break it down.
You know, I had a lovely Bordelot with my grouper yesterday.
Sick. We'll be back on Monday. Tony will try to do better the next time. I'm Mike Wilbon.
And I'm David Aldridge. Good night.
Part in the Interruption is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute scores and statistics, log on to ESPN.com.